guys, I am still on my Baldur's Gate thing. I don't know what else to say about it. What do you want from me? Today, I'm just going to try to get right into it because this is a quick one. It's relatively easy. I'm not going to say it's beginner friendly because people get mad at me when I say it's beginner friendly and they have a hard time with it. So I don't know. Maybe it's beginner friendly. You decide. But it's pretty small. You can finish it in a couple hours. It is, of course, a Mind FLAYER Tadpole. I attached my original one to my headphones so it can hang out on my head all day. I love it. It's amazing. I love the tail on these guys. They look sick. They're awesome. Anyway, I will list all my materials and all of the terms that I use in the description below. The instructions will be written in abbreviated terms at the bottom of the screen, so you can pause and read or screenshot or whatever you need to do. Like I said, I have abbreviations and all the terms in the description below, so if you don't know what the abbreviations mean, you can reference the description and that should help you. I'll have it separated into chapters for you. Not much else to say about it. This guy's so fun. I hope you enjoy the tutorial. Let me know. Okay, for materials, what we're gonna need is a 2.75 millimeter hook. I use this for the entire body, and then I also use this 2.25 millimeter hook for the little like tentacle-y bits. You are also going to need your yarn. I like to use this 24/7 cotton from Lion brand. It's a weight 4. It is in the color Pink Lemonade. I also have this white yarn. You can use anything for this. This is just for the teeth detail. You only need a tiny bit if you want to do it at all. I also used these 10 millimeter safety eyes. I used a stitch marker and a darning needle. You're also going to need a tiny bit of polyfill. I also recommend having some pins on hand. Okay, so we are going to start with the tail. I'm going to wrap this around my fingers twice. Take this piece of yarn on the inside, pull it over, wrap it around again so that it's back on the inside. Pull it up. There's probably an easier way to do that. So now I have it on my hook. When you pull on this end, it opens this knot. When you pull on the short end, it'll close it up. To start, I'm going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm going to work into the back hump. So you see on the front there are these nice little V's that are created by our chains. I'm going to flip that over and work into that little bump on the back along this side. In the second chain from my hook, I'm going to single crochet and half double crochet in that same stitch. I'm going to take my stitch marker. I'm going to mark that first single crochet that I made. Now in the next chain, I'm going to double crochet twice in that one stitch. 1, 2, then I'm going to do that again. I'm going to double crochet twice in the next chain. Oops. 1, 2, And then in this very last chain right here, I'm going to half double crochet and single crochet. Half double crochet and single crochet. So that's working into one side of our chain. So now that we've worked into every chain, I am going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, slip stitch back down in each of those chains. 1, 2, 3. And I'm not going to turn here. I am just going to work down the other side of the chain that we started with. So in that first chain right here, I am going to single crochet and half double crochet. Oops, this can be a little tricky. I'm going to double crochet twice into the next. 1, 2, double crochet twice into the next one. 1, 2, and then I'm going to half double crochet and single crochet into that very last one. Now to finish the tail and to make a nice ridge down the middle, I'm going to slip stitch right down the center. Just right into those chains that we worked into. Then, this is a little weird, but I'm going to go through the back here with my hook, and I'm going to pull my loop through to the other side. Just like so. And that just pulls it through so that I can work down the other side, and I'm again going to slip stitch. You can see these little lines here from my slip stitches on the other side. I'm going to slip stitch into those. So my first one is right here. This is very tight. It's a little difficult. Loosen it up. Slip stitch through it. I'm going to move on to my next one. I'm going to grab it, loosen it up a little bit. And that is our tail. I think that ridge really brings it together, makes it look real nice. To make the body, we are going to start by working into that stitch that we marked, that very first single crochet, and I am going to single crochet 2 into the front loop only. The stitch looks like a little V. There's a loop in the back, and there's a loop in the front. I'm going to work only into that front loop right there. I'm going to single crochet 2. It's a little hard to see just because of the angle of it. I'm just working in to that front loop there. I'm going to single crochet 2 into the front loop, 1, 2, I'm going to remove my stitch marker, put it into that first single crochet that I made. Right there. So that's my new beginning stitch. Now I'm going to single crochet in the front loop only of the next stitch. So the very next one, that's right here. Single crochet into that front loop. And now I'm going to bring it around and I'm going to crochet, single crochet 2 into the back loop of that same stitch. So it's a little hidden because of that ridge that we made, but that's right here. Single crochet 2, one, come on, 2, and then I'm going to single crochet 1 into that unworked loop from the first stitches that we made. So that's just on the other side of that single crochet 2 that we started with. Single crochet 1. And there we have it. We should have 6 stitches right there. So that's round 1. For round 2, I'm going to single crochet into that first stitch that I marked. It's a little tough to get over there. Pull that nice and tight. There it is. One. I'm going to mark that just so that I can keep track of it. I'm always going to have a stitch marker in my first stitch of the round. And then I'm going to single crochet in each stitch around. So this is stitch 2, 3, 4, first couple rows are very fiddly just because you're working in a pretty tight amount of space, but it should be easier from here on out. So now in round 3, I'm going to increase in the first stitch, and that just means I single crochet twice in that first stitch. 1, 2. Again, I'm always marking that first stitch in the round just so I don't get lost. Then I'm going to single crochet in the next, and I'm going to repeat that pattern 3 times total. So I'm going to increase in the next stitch, 1, 2, and then single crochet in the next. Increase the next stitch, 1, 2, single crochet in that last stitch there. You should have 9 stitches in this round. Now the body is widening up a little bit. Now, round 4, I'm going to increase that first stitch, 1, 2, mark the first stitch, single crochet in the next 2 stitches, 1, 2, I'm going to repeat that around, increase, and then single crochet 2, a total of 3 times until I have 12 stitches. Now for round 5, I'm just going to single crochet around. Now for round 6, I'm going to increase, I increased in my first stitch, and then I'm going to single crochet once, and I'm going to repeat that around for a total of 6 times. So increase, single crochet, increase, single crochet, until I have 18 stitches in my round. Now round 7 through 9, that's 3 rounds, I'm just going to single crochet around. Okay, so now I'm at round 10. It's starting to look very tadpole-y, which is very fun. This round is going to be a little different. So I'm going to start by single crocheting 3. 1, 2, 3. And now in this same stitch, I'm going, or not in this same stitch, okay. So I've single crocheted 3. Now I'm going to increase 3 times over the next 3 stitches. So increase in that first stitch, increase again in the next stitch, and then increase a 3rd time in that 3rd stitch. Now I'm going to single crochet 3 again over the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. And now again I'm going to increase 3 times. So increase in that first stitch, increase in the second stitch, and then increase, increase in the 3rd stitch. 1, 2, and then I'm going to single crochet in my remaining 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now what we've begun doing here is making little bumps for our eyes. Now in round 11, I'm just going to single crochet around. There are 24 stitches. Now in round 12, I'm going to start by single crocheting 3 for the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and now I'm going to single crochet 3 together twice. So I'll show you how to do that. I'm going to insert my hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, then insert my hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, and insert my hook into the 3rd stitch, pull up a loop. I have 4 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over and pull through all those loops on my hook. I'm going to do it again. Insert my hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, insert my hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, oops, and then insert my hook into the 3rd stitch, pull up another loop, yarn over and pull through all 4 loops on my hook. Now I'm going to single crochet 3, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going going to do that again. I'm going to single crochet 3 together twice. 1, 2, 3, yarn over, pull through. 1, 2, 3, yarn over, pull through. Come on. Struggling here. Now I'm going to single crochet in those last 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now you can see here I have these little bumps that are perfect for some eyeballs. I'm going to insert my safety eyes now right into those bumps that I've created. One right there. Take some creative freedom with this if you would like. Place them wherever you feel they look best. I have just stuck them right in the middle of those bumps that I've made. That looks good to me. Now I'm going to place the backs on my safety eyes. Lock them in. And I am going to very lightly stuff the body now. Here I have some polyfill. I'm just using the tiniest amount, and you will see why in a minute. Just trust me. Put that in there. I don't even need that much, honestly. Does not need a ton of stuffing. We want to kind of have some space in there for the mouth that goes like kind of inward. Now that I have my eyes in, I am going to single crochet around in the back loop only for rounds 13 and 14. So back loop only. Remember, our stitches are little V's, the front loop and a back loop. Only gonna work into that back loop. I'm gonna do that all the way around for rounds 13 and 14. Now for round 15, we're still working in the back loop only. I'm going to single crochet 2, 1, 2, and then I'm going to decrease. I'm going to do that a total of 4 times, and I will have 12 stitches in my round. So I'm going to single crochet once, twice, and then I'm going to decrease. I am going to decrease 6 times for round 16, all in the back loop only. There's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. I'm going to pause here. It's not entirely closed yet, but the hole is pretty small. And if you would like to sew the teeth details on, this is where we're going to do it. So to make the teeth, taking my white yarn, I'm just going to grab a long-ish length of it. Cut it. Then I'm going to grab my darning needle, thread this, and from the inside I'm going to start right here at the very edge so that it's easier for me to tie off at the end. I'm just going to make a handful of teeth. Just kind of randomly placed throughout. I don't want to pull these stitches too tight. I want them to be really clearly visible. Yeah, I'm gonna go around in as orderly a fashion I can manage, just so that I'm not left with any like tight strings that will prevent me from turning the mouth back inside of the body the way I need to do it. There we are. Just kind of have a handful, and I'm going to tie it there. Nothing's super tight or anything. Everything's kind of loose. I'm gonna snip the excess. And that's our teeth. now we're just going to close up this mouth here. I'm going to remove my stitch marker. Make sure those ends are inside. Now I'm not working in the back loop only anymore. I'm going to decrease until I can't decrease anymore. So here's one. This will kind of depend on how tight your stitches are. You might only be able to decrease twice. You might be able to decrease 3 times. You know, whatever works. We just basically want this hole closed up. I'm going to slip stitch to the other side here, just to really close it. And then we can tie off oh, you know what? I fucked up. I was supposed to leave a long tail for sewing. That's okay. This might be long enough. But you're going to want to leave a longer string than this, probably. And this will take a little bit of fiddling. But you'll get there. And this is why we did not want to overstuff the body. We need plenty of room to be able to get this mouth in there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my tail, which again should be longer than what I've left myself, but I forgot. I'm just going to make a few stitches. To really secure the mouth. So now that I'm done that, I'm gonna leave this end in with a smaller needle. And I will hide this little string inside of the body. Also, I'm going to go ahead and weave this tail string in. And here is our base. He's looking pretty good. There are just a couple more details that we need to make and then sew on, and then we'll be golden. So now I'm going to start making the tentacles. I'm still going to be using my 2.75 millimeter hook for right now. We're going to make one long piece that's basically going to go over the eyes like this, make it look a little angry, like eyebrows, and they're going to hang off the sides like tentacles. So to do that, I'm going to make a slip knot, and I'm going to chain 35. So I've chained 35, and now in the second chain from my hook, I'm going to increase, and in the next I'm just going to single crochet once. I'm going to repeat that, increasing and then single crochet, increasing and then single crochet until I get all the way to the end, and then I'm going to tie off. Kind of loosely twirly shape. Gonna give myself a long tail for sewing. There we are. I'm gonna put this to the side for now, and I'm going to get my 2.25 millimeter hook. Now I'm gonna make the shorter tentacles. And to do that, I'm going to make a slip knot. And I'm going to chain 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, oops. 8, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to increase, and then single crochet. Increase, and then single crochet all the way down. There we are. I'm going to make another one of those so that I have 2. It's the same exact way as the first. going to take my long tentacle. I'm going to find the middle right here. I'm going to take my tadpole and I'm going to pin that middle spot right in between the eyes. Be careful not to poke yourself. I like to use lots of pins so that I know that it's not going anywhere. But use as many as you need or feel comfortable with. Now I'm going to kind of guide these around the eye to make a kind of eyebrow. These will add a lot of character to your little tadpole. If you do them right. And they can be kind of tricky, but that's where the pins come in handy because you can pin it in place, check it out, move it around if you need to. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, guide that tentacle right over the eye. I like to keep them real close to the edges. Have a really sharp turn there, but that can be sewn down and it kind of, I think it makes them look angrier. Now, kind of devastatingly, I realize this side is a little longer than this side. So I'm going to take all these out and shift it over just a tiny bit. Which hurts, I won't lie, but that's all right. Pretty happy with that. So now what I'm going to do, I've already threaded this long end that I left at the end of my tentacle. I'm just going to kind of slide it up. This side, making sure that it's hidden for the most part. It's a little tricky. Work it up until I reach this first side, and then I'm going to start sewing. Once you're happy with that, weave in your ends. And hide that tail right inside the body like the rest. Now we're going to take our little tentacles, which we have 2 of. These are really easy to attach. I will show you. I have both of these tails still attached, not sewn in on my little tentacles. I have threaded one end, and I'm going to find a stitch that's kind of hidden underneath that tentacle, and I'm going to pull it through. Then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to tie a knot and hide those tails inside the body. So I'm going to tie that nice and tight. Tie it again, just to make sure it's extra secure. And then I'm going to take these ends, grab my darning needle, hide those tails away where nobody will see them. Why is it stuck? There we go. Cut it nice and close. And there we go. And there's our second tentacle. I'm going to do the same thing on this other side. Thread one of those tails. Find it a nice little hiding spot underneath. Find it a nice little hiding spot underneath that big tentacle. Pull that through. Gonna tie it nice and tight. Once and then twice, making sure not to get any tentacles caught up in those knots. Then thread both of those ends and tuck them away. And now you have your own Mind Flayer tadpole. I think these would make very cute keychains, maybe hanging from the tail like so. Or a tentacle. How cute would that be? Now you're done. Feel proud of yourself. This was kind of a tough one. Easy peasy, right? It takes like no time at all, it feels like. They're so fun. I hope you liked it. A little reminder, I will be streaming with my husband on Saturdays now. We're streaming Baldur's Gate on Saturdays. We were doing it on Fridays. It wasn't working. Now we're doing Saturdays. It's so fun. All that information is linked in the description below. Other than that, I don't really know if there's anything else to say. Subscribe if you want more. If you have any recommendations for specifically Baldur's Gate themed crochet projects you would like to see, let me know. I'll be all over it. Subscribe, like the video if you liked it. I hope I'll see you next time. Goodbye.